welcome to another quick episode of Inhlanzi Xtreme. What I'm going to show you guys now quickly is how to tie the very famous cob fly that I actually designed. So what you need is basically two different colors of marabou, and then any color cotton will do, no problem. So if we get our fly tying gear out at the moment, so we've got our vise here. Obviously make sure that your hook is on nice and tight. It's a long shank hook that I'm using. Okay, so I'm going to do a quick couple of loops on this hook, and this obviously ensure that the marabou that you tie on will actually hold for when the cob bite on it. So do a little crisscross all the way through, and then a quick line back. And like I said, the color doesn't matter because the fly is actually so fluffy that it covers everything, so there's no stress with that. So what we're going to do is we're going to grab some red marabou. I'll pull the feathers out here quickly. Let's get everything out the packet, because sorry, my OCD kicks in and I love it to look quite decent. Okay, so here we've got a nice little fluffy piece. So what I normally do is I cut it off, just a little section of it, and if you run that through, it will give you quite a nice little tail, and the tail you'll put right pretty much on the shank of the hook. Give it two wraparounds, pull the wraparounds tight, and then obviously just tighten everything else up, and that gives you a bit of a nice tail going over there. Then from there, we obviously use the rest of the marabou. You need to strip off all the bits, so let's get rid of all the nonsense that we've got over here and start stripping off nice fluffy bits of marabou. Cut off the rubbish that we do not need. Wrap it around the hook. Give it two little turns. Pull it tight. And there's the first layer. And we're going to carry on and on and on and on doing that until we eventually get to about 3/4 way through the shank. Let's do another one quickly. Cut off those ends. Wrap it around. And like I said, we'll carry on with that all the way through till we eventually get to somewhere about 3/4 way through the shank. Okay, so we've gotten to the stage where the marabou has been tied all the way through, little bit, till eventually we get to the 3/4 way mark on the long shank hook. And then we start to actually add the yellow belly on the bottom, obviously with the yellow marabou itself. So if we get the marabou out, just find a nice piece that's got some nice length on it. So obviously we want to start it off with some nice length and then work its way back. So let's get some nice yellow length over here. And you basically just add it onto the bottom and Just give that one loose tap and then the second one nice and tight. Okay, so we've added the yellow marabou on the bottom, as you can see. So now obviously the top has got a nice little red body. The belly is nice and yellow at the bottom. And we're going to carry on adding on. So let's add on some more red marabou onto the top. Let's get this sliced up. Add a bit more red onto the top. So again, just wrap it around just to cover the color of the actual cotton you are using. Red on the top, yellow on the bottom. There's the yellow coming onto the bottom. And we'll add some more red onto the top again. And as you obviously add it on, just wrap it around the lip so that you make sure you cover up those bits of fibers that you have. And once that front piece is done, just give it a quick little neaten here and there. A bit of a slice here, slice there. And then this last, like I said, centimeter or half a centimeter, we will wrap up. And try and make the wrapping as straight as possible. That's giving it that little bit of head that you've got going. So you can see the marabou, nice little yellow belly, nice little red top over there. And then yes, I just do my quick little wraps. I do not use my normal clips to actually tighten up. A couple of clips like that. So now that's what you're basically sitting with, is with this marabou of two different colors, looking like a nice little paddle tail type of stunt over there. And then what I normally do is steal the wife's nail polish. Give the nail polish, obviously just paint up the cotton that you have on you at the moment with some red. Obviously try and make it as neat as possible. Crack the one side off. Crack the second side off as well. Just try and color up whatever white cotton is there that you've used. Well, I obviously used white cotton. Like I said, you can use any color cotton. So I used white cotton, so I just color it up. Make it all nice and the same color. Okay, so now you can see it's actually pretty red in the front now. You cannot see the color difference. And after this, I will now obviously epoxy the front section to make it straight and pretty smooth. So it creates a bit of weight, so it'll actually drop in the water. So as you're using a intermediate or a sinking line, it'll drop and you can just it'll pick it up a little bit and drop and pick it up a little bit the whole time through. So basically acting like a type of paddle tail. Okay, so obviously now what I've done is I've basically added the epoxy coating just to the front of the fly itself, just to create a little bit more strength and also to create a little bit of weight to give it that whole drop in the water type of thing. If you're using a intermediate or a sinking line, it just gives it that little bit of a play the whole way through. So once we are done, that is exactly how the fly should look. Obviously this is not wet, and once it is nice and wet, it gives it a nice little fat body with a nice red tail coming off and a nice yellow belly at the bottom. And that is the Inhlanzi type of red mullet fly.